Nerdy For. I'm Amy Brown. This is a podcast. It's called Nerdy For. I find out what funny people are nerdy for. A lot of stand-up comedians come through here. If you are listening to this with your ears, like an audible situation, you can go ahead and go on YouTube and watch the video. We look really sexy. We're wearing glasses. I have a nice, pretty room we're in. We have good lighting. And did you know if you pay a little bit of extra money on YouTube, you don't have to pay for ads? You don't have to have ads on there. I didn't even know YouTube had ads because my children took my credit card and
the privilege of this one. I didn't even know YouTube had ads.
I didn't.
You did scare me a little bit when you said if you pay a little bit more money. I'm like, whoa, what are we doing after this? What's the exclusive content?
That's
what I was about to bring up.
Nerdy For after hours.
There's an OnlyFans after this. The Patreon. Okay. I don't have any of those things. But yeah, my son just took my credit card and got the YouTube upgrade. I didn't know YouTube had ads at all. Okay. And so I found out recently. So that's why people don't like watching it. But just pay a little bit of money. You know, your kids. You don't have to pay for your kids to go to college. Don't worry about it. Don't save money. That's silly. Okay, on the podcast today we have my good friend and Matt Tamburrino. He's a comedian. He is a producer of Deep South.
Dirty South
comedy. That's
all right. You only done like 20 of my shows.
So many shows.
It's on the shirt next
Deep
to you,
South.
And you're like, Deep South.
Guys, it wouldn't be an Amy Brown podcast if I didn't mess up the words in the intro.
You dyslex a little bit.
Cada tiempo every time. What's interesting about you is you are ex-military, and you went to the Citadel and lived to tell the tale.
That's right.
Yeah,
and that's the important part.
You're super hot.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. That's actually that last one is the most important one.
Yeah, you bring up
that's all I did it for.
The sexy quotient in any room you're in. Do you
I appreciate that.
Do you work out?
Yes.
Where's the gym? Point to it with
Planet
your muscles.
Fitness. Oh, right. Now I should go to Planet Fitness. I love it.
Well, they like a bargain too. That's good.
I do love a bargain, and I like the. I don't know. Okay.
I just started lifting. I am turning into old.
I do tanning.
You do tanning?
I was going to make that weird, yeah.
You do?
Planet Fitness does free unlimited tanning.
You tan?
Yes, I do.
You know that's bad for you? Do you have health insurance? You're going to get a melanoma.
No, but I got to fake the melanin. My mom is a ginger, like pale, so I'm just like naturally
that means you have
pale.
You have the ginger gene, which means you turn sunshine into cancer.
Hopefully the sunshine's getting its revenge by turning me into cancer. Is that what you meant? You meant that at first, that you're saying I turn the sun into cancer.
Well, I'm very confused right now.
The sun turns me into cancer.
No, the sun will come into your skin. You have the gene. Like, even though I don't have red hair, I have given birth to a ginger. Okay. And my father has red hair. That means my skin is going to turn sunshine into melanomas and cancer. If the doctor removes any more of my uncle's forehead, he's going to look like an adult Zika baby. Like, it's a mess. It's a mess.
Non-gingers can get cancer too.
Yes. But you're predisposed. Like, you're really good at it.
I'm pretty.
Not to brag.
I was born to have cancer.
Throw that on the intro. Also, Matt's really good at getting cancer of the skin variety.
Matt's nerdy for skin cancer.
So good at cancer.
So you could just get a spray tan. Would you like that?
I've heard they've gotten a lot better at that technology, huh?
Yeah. Just get a spray tan.
Just in my mind, it's the what that technology was 15 years ago, and then I look
orange. Like Donald Trump,
our great former president and future. I'm just kidding.
Oh, Jesus Christmas! Oh, we're gonna throw down.
Isn't it today? Joking about it. I know this is coming out later, but isn't it today that he's going to go get his mugshot at the?
Ooh.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, today it's Thursday in Atlanta.
Yeah,
the
August
day
24th. Yeah.
Donald Trump is getting a mugshot. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Hope you got a good spray tan.
If they get him, they're gonna get me.
I have a question. So you have Matt Tamburrino has a Citadel ring, and if you're on
like
you can
QVC,
you pop in
6 small payments of.
It's a huge gold ring, and it has a palmetto tree, a palm tree, a palmetto.
Yeah, palmetto tree.
Yeah, for everyone at home, not me, because obviously I know what the Citadel is. But what is the Citadel?
That's a great question. The Citadel is.
It's a
military.
It's a military
school.
college.
Okay.
So it's almost like the. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say it's almost like the service academies, but it's a public school, so you don't have to go in the military afterwards. I was in the Army before I even started there, but about 50% of people do go in the military. But you wear uniforms 24/7, marching everywhere. And
can you fold a shirt?
I can fold a shirt.
Can you make a bed?
I can make a bed.
I'm going to slide off this chair.
Yeah, this is mom porn right here.
Let me show you my hospital corners.
I want to see you load a dishwasher with your shirt off.
Roll my socks up perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can do all that.
Do you color code your clothing in your closet?
Well, they're all black, so.
Oh, well, there you go.
So technically, yes, but it's by default.
I would hate to segregate, but it's all one.
That's the Apple guy's technique for life is,
Yeah, I wear jeans and black t-shirts. That's why I usually have funky shoes on.
That's how you
funky
express
shoes
yourself.
on. Yeah. I choose that one way to.
We're going so fast. I want to circle back to the Citadel. Did you have to pay for tuition, or does the state pay for it?
So I was on 100% Army scholarship.
That's fantastic.
So it is a very expensive school, about $40,000 a year. But that covers room and board. You're living in barracks.
Yeah. Did you get hazed? Yes. Are you allowed to talk about it?
Hazing is a myth. No. I got the
What
shit.
just happened?
I got the shit beat out of me. That was for the lawyers. No, I got the shit beat out of me.
Did you?
Yeah, it was bad.
Do you have PTSD from that?
No.
Can I touch your shoulder without you punching me? I've got my oven mitts
honestly,
on.
no. Actually, when I do get haircuts, when the trimmer goes near my ears, I do get a little. I don't know if that's autism or PTSD.
Oh.
Like it's when it gets
Were
through my ears.
Were they molesting you
both.
with something vibrating when they were?
No, they just shaved my head a lot, and I have big ears, so it's very traumatic for me to have a shaved head.
Did they clip your ear and make it bleed?
I think they did a few times, but no, it's just knowing what I'll look like, I think.
I don't want to shave my head. I'm gonna shout out.
But no, the Citadel was. I definitely
Sinead O'Connor.
Love that I went there, and I wouldn't change that I went there. I wouldn't do it again for sure.
Sign up for that kind of abuse.
No, and I wouldn't
again.
wish it on.
Do they have girls there?
They do now. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's
and they
cool.
did when I was there, but it was kind of a newer thing, and I didn't really interact much with the female cadets. Just
well, you guys are like.
situationally.
I when I think of the Citadel, I'm not like, oh, it's like a mixer. Everyone's there to have fun and learn. That's what my college experience was.
Yeah.
I went with 5 different formal gowns to college.
And where did you go to college again?
Sweetbriar College in Virginia.
Oh, yes.
It's a women's college.
Okay.
You can bring your horse.
Yeah.
It was lovely.
And the men haven't fought to get into there yet?
They haven't. It's part of our charter, and we will lose our endowment because it's attached to that. They would have to break the endowment.
Okay.
But it's,
I think there's
it's
a
private,
lot of
so they
stuff
don't
that
have
men
to.
only get, though, so I guess women can have
No, I wasn't trying to make
that
it
one college.
Why can women have that? Why can women have their own college, but we can't have it? I don't give a fuck. No.
I'm nerdy for men's rights.
No, I just wish, no. The funny thing is, I always...
Tell me what it was like invading the Capitol.
No, it was pretty sweet. Every year we
Are you really a Republican?
celebrate. No, not. That's
This is a nice awkward.
Whoa.
I didn't
I guess
ask.
comedy for the first time in my life has made me feel, but I guess that's kind of
Feel-
the environment lately.
Feel
Well, I think it's
Republican?
the cancel culture and the woke stuff. I've kind of I don't like any of that stuff, but everything else I am very liberal.
I think
guess. So I'm all
every
about abortions. I'm all about the gays.
If I can't get abortions every Sunday, I don't know what I'm going to do with my time.
Right? If I can't.
Sunday's the day of the Lord and the day of the giving back the baby. Sorry, that was silly.
But I was raised by a very conservative family.
I think both sides have extremes of craziness.
I think that's the issue these days. So I would say I'm just moderate, but I know that's not even acceptable to say anymore.
Most of the people I feel like in at least the Atlanta stand-up comedy community that I hang out with, which is most of them, I imagine, are socially liberal. Like, yes, get up, tell us your truth about what it's like to come out or do all the things you need to do with your life, and we don't care as long as you're not hurting
that's just
anybody.
Part of the arts, and that's part of I think the arts in general, and people that want to express themselves, and that is a very liberal, which unfortunately the way I was raised, I don't know. I was always obsessed with stand-up comedy as a kid, and that was fine. My dad loved. I stole his Eddie Murphy cassettes and. He liked Pauly Shore a lot, so it wasn't the best comedic influence on me. But I just didn't ever think of that as a career path or as even an option. I loved it, but I never even imagined, in my mind, it's like, oh, I could probably pursue it. And I was always the funny kid. I was always the class clown. I thought I was funny, but just never in my mind. I was like, no, you go in the military, you're supposed to do that. And I did what I was supposed to do.
You got your base layer, and now you're ready to be creative.
I appreciate that I did, and I learned a lot from doing those things.
I have a question, because you're like a macho guy. Like you have muscles. You're in the military. You have a deep voice.
Okay. Well, I am very nerdy.
Well, you, by fault of doing stand-up comedy, which is doing a one-man show, you're in the arts. You're technically now a theater kid.
That's right. That is true.
You're kind of. Do you ever think about doing an act out, or you're like, no, that's too flamboyant for me, or you like tell me about your approach to the art.
I'm never against. I'm all about saying the worst stuff about myself. Very self-deprecating. I just told you I tan. I'm all about. I don't know. I tell people everything. There's nothing I'm ashamed of or not, too afraid to tell. If it is, and that's something very weird that I probably shouldn't do. That's the word. The point, So but as far as act outs and stuff like that, it's just not my style of comedy. I don't mind it. It's not something I've ever been drawn to or whatever. But if it came up, I would. There's been a few. Yeah.
You don't kind of act things out when we're talking, just chatting either. So it's not part of like the way you communicate in general. I would say.
Not really.
Okay. That was not as exciting as I thought it was going to be. That's
sorry.
Okay.
So I do a joke about virtual reality, being caught watching virtual reality porn by my dad and having to pretend that I was playing a skiing game, and I do bend over and do the skiing motion. So there's one that is an act out and is
that's hilarious.
Saying that's what
wait, hold on.
Not a true story. It's just,
it's not.
No, not that. No.
Is that what virtual reality is for?
Yeah, most everything is made for porn first, and
that's
then it gets
the joke that I eventually get into the joke. It's talking about augmented reality, the new technology.
Are you just putting together that your son has a virtual reality rig?
Oh no!
I'm doing a lot of math right now in my head on how many VRs.
He's watching Netflix on.
How did you not put this together before now?
Okay,
Oh, no.
that what this is going to be the end of humanity if all the boys can just do whatever kind of girl they want to.
All technology ever leads to. The final step of every technological development is
put your wiener in it.
Correct.
Yeah. That's a big motivation.
Isn't that how Beta and VHS?
I was literally about to say that's
no, part of my joke, and I don't want to keep, but it's all of our dreams as kids. I mean, that's all we ever dreamed of was the virtual reality and augmented reality. It was all of our. There's a whole field of dreams. All of our dreams.
Just about
a whole field of dreams. If you build it,
you can put your wiener in it.
We will come.
Field
of dreams.
But you are right though. The VHS and Beta war for like the formatting. It's just that porn went with VHS, and then they're like, well, that won.
That won.
That won it, baby.
So if you're gonna make anything, if you're gonna try to be successful at anything, this is my takeaway. You got to make it porn.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see that? Okay, so I just saw this that fans only now is
fans only.
Oh, come on now! I know.
Is mommy saying it wrong? What's it called? How do you call it again? Tell mom. Tell Nana.
Pornographic cinema.
Oh,
OnlyFans.
The titty shows.
It's OnlyFans.
I have a nickel for the Nickelodeon. I'd like to see the titty shows. Jesus Christmas.
All right,
okay.
So what's going on OnlyFans?
It was called Fans OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
Correct.
So dyslexic.
You got it right. Yeah, you just dyslexic swapped.
I'm sober. Today.
That's the problem.
Right now. Let's qualify this. They are having comedy roasts on there, like of big famous comedians because they need a paywall. So it can be they can just say anything they want to, not worry about getting canceled or like the platform not supporting it.
Yeah.
And they can get paid directly. And so if I join OnlyFans to watch comedy, is that the same as getting Playboy to read the articles? Like, is that... That's a great joke. I put it. Okay, no.
I do know some
read it
people.
This morning.
I do know some people that like there is non-pornographic content in OnlyFans that's paywall.
Remember, they tried to go away from pornography completely, and
that
was an incredible. Yeah.
Oh, and
I understand why they wanted to.
I heard everyone's favorite got taken down, right? When they were like cutting out the porn.
Who's everyone's favorite?
Like their favorite videos. I think I saw that like people were talking about it.
Is that what you saw? Is that what you saw? That people's favorite videos, just the videos they're in their favorites, were somehow gone all of a sudden? I'm like, what the heck, OnlyFans? It's like, I mean, just for those people, it must be frustrating.
There was just huge pushback.
It must be so frustrating for those people.
The majority of their content creators are doing, sex work.
That's obviously a tough business. They were having trouble, just like the marijuana business. They were having trouble with banking and all the other insurance. People don't want to get in the world of pornography, just like they don't want to get in the world of drugs. So they were having a tough. So they were trying to kind of go, and that's when they started. They started doing the comedy a couple of years ago. Comedians have done a few things on there. They're trying to make it, like a Patreon sort of, like any artist that wants to do exclusive content,
more
like a Patreon. They want to do it more. Yes, they want to make it. Yeah, they want to make the name OnlyFans. I think we might be past. I think that shit might have sailed. I don't know if you're going to make OnlyFans not
Yeah, there's
the connotation of pornography.
dirty. The Pornhub had a biography on Netflix. I watched half of it. Did you see that?
Yeah, no.
Okay. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. FYI. Just anyone out there.
And about Pornhub itself, like
yeah,
the actual...
like the birth of
you know,
it.
it's crazy. I tried to watch porn, and I'd heard it was a thing, and I tried to watch pornographic material when I was in Virginia a few weeks ago.
They put a little locky on that.
Yes,
Yeah,
they wanted me to
Virginia's-
upload my driver's license.
Yeah.
Like, not just, like, put in your birthday, but, like...
like in the state of Virginia, you gotta...
Yeah, certain states. There's a few states. And I'd heard that before, but didn't really, like, know it was...
Baby
and
needs
it was
a-
a problem. Like, I really could not watch porn. Like,
You need a VPN.
yeah, I guess. There you go.
Baby's first VPN.
Your son told you about this, didn't he? You know
I'm
why?
not going to say where I learned
Do you
any
know
of
How
why
this.
do you
you're-
recover your favorite
like,
videos on OnlyFans?
do you know why
How do
you're-
you know how to recover those?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I just heard someone else talking about it.
You heard somebody else.
I don't remember who. It's probably a comedian or
You have
something.
a lot of crazy, dirty friends, Amy. And
I
they
think-
talk a lot of stuff to you.
Amy's horny.
I'm the dirtiest
She's a
of
little
all of
pervert.
them.
I know, so
I'm
birds
not.
of a
You
feather.
You are for sure. There's nothing wrong with
I
it.
just I
There's
have
nothing wrong with
the
it.
sense of humor of a 13-year-old boy. This is what I'm a
And also, you
Is that how women were? I mean, is that if
Women are
if
horny
women are
as
being
shit.
honest? But I'm saying like if women are honest with themselves, because most women try to uphold themselves, well, you know, somewhat classy. But I think I don't want to say your age. You're 33.
I'm
46.
46. I'm 46
All right,
years old.
so at your age,
you
do
cut
you
me in
think-
half. You can count
and
the
that-
rings.
But they do say that's kind of the women's
peak for like.
sexual. Yeah. So do you
That's a good question.
If women are being honest with themselves, do you think you have that mindset of like that maybe I had when I was 15,
Oh,
16
like really
years old?
hornier than so I think my late 30s was more like that.
Okay.
There is like you start releasing more eggs as you age because the body's like abandoned ship. She's going down. We got to get some of these babies made, and that's
You
why
naturally become more fertile.
yeah. And last, like you could like not have an egg one and then have two, and like it's just last ditch effort to make more
weird.
babies in the world. So that can probably affect hormone levels. Would you like me to draw a chart? I'll get the baby doll out and you can show me where the
Amy,
guys
how do
touched you when
women
you're at the
work?
Citadel. That was a weird joke. All right. Okay. It's 16 minutes in.
Oh shit.
Matt Tamburrino.
That's right.
What are you nerdy for?
Quite a few things, honestly. Sort
pick
of.
one, we're gonna talk about
most
it.
peripheral. Okay, well, lately, and a lot of but most lately, Pokemon.
Oh my God.
The trading card
okay.
game.
After we're done here, we're going to go to my son's room and I'm going to open up an
The thing is, I
entire
don't care about
dresser.
those.
Oh, you like the
I
characters,
did-
not the cards?
No,
It's all
not like the
cards.
game.
There's a game.
There is a game.
Okay,
Yeah,
you're gonna
most
teach
people.
me-
That's maybe the nerdiest that
Yeah,
you can.
there's
or
a
maybe
video
least
game,
nerdy way
and
to play
there's-
Pokemon because
there's
I
a
don't care about. I
card
don't
game.
own a single
It's a
physical
good thing you're
Pokemon
so
card.
attractive. I'm just going to put that out there. Do you get laid?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Good for you.
Not a lot lately, but
Nerds get laid
by choice.
by other nerds.
I know.
yeah.
This is very true.
Both
what
my brothers
is-
are nerds, and they.
You have to explain. We have to start at the beginning. What is a Pokemon game? Explain it to me. What
Okay.
do you like? Is it the one on the phone?
No, so there are some on the. Well, actually, so the Pokemon. So they're pocket monsters from Japan.
A pocket monster.
Yeah, it came out in I think 97, 98. I think it started as either started as the anime or as the game, one or the other. I don't know. But as a kid, I did have the Pokemon cards, and I bought them, and I was obsessed when they first came out when I was 8 years old.
Yes.
And I did actually start playing. There's a game to it. I mean, it's a very fun, almost like a Magic the Gathering, or there's the Yu-Gi-Oh card game. Those, tabletop card
That's
games.
a new one.
And it's
Magic
very
the
fun.
Gathering.
I don't know Magic the
What's
Gathering. That's like
Magic
the
the
biggest one. That
Gathering?
one's too much.
Is that another nerdy thing?
Yeah, it's probably the biggest
Magic
card
the
game there
Gathering.
is.
Do you bring your cats dressed as princesses?
No, I don't know. Maybe some people do.
I have to look that up. Okay, continue with the Pokemon.
So I always enjoyed the game of the Pokemon. And I had the Pokemon cards, and then I went to live with my dad, the very manly military.
Oh.
And somehow all my Pokemon cards just disappeared. We don't know what happened.
Was he
so
drinking
those were all
whiskey and
gone.
throwing them in the fire?
My dad didn't drink. That would have been a great excuse. My dad
Also, just
doesn't
to
drink.
clarify, it was the video game first, then the anime, then the
Thank
card
you.
game.
Thank you.
Ooh.
Okay, so the video
So we
game,
have
which I did
facts.
love. I did love the Game Boy game,
Okay.
Pokemon Red and Green. I don't remember.
It was Red and Blue to
Red
start.
and Blue. There we go.
I played the shit
Thank
out of all
you. No, those were
these.
great. Those were great. So I always enjoyed those games, and I always enjoyed nerdy stuff as a kid. But then, my dad I don't want to say like, he just pushed me more into sports and military stuff and stuff like that. When I moved away from my mom and my two nerdy brothers, I went to live with my dad by myself, just me and him, single dad. And so, yeah, he just pushed me into other interests. And so I always enjoyed peripherally the nerdy stuff, and I always enjoyed that culture from afar.
Have you been to Dragon Con?
I have not, and I want to go so bad.
Have you been to any con?
Yeah, well, I just went to the Southern Fried Gaming Expo. I just did comedy there.
I'll allow
a couple times.
Southern.
And that was one of the coolest, because I love people watching, and I love Southern Fried Gaming Expo.
Yeah, they have they have like a pinball
It's like
hall.
it's mostly pinball machines and like old arcade games. And
Okay, that's kind of fun.
Unlimited pinball play too.
yeah, people
Pinball.
just donate their pinball machines to be played.
I did a live show for my podcast there a few years ago.
You've done everything nerdy, Joel.
I'm nerdy as hell. I'm opening up a new studio network that's trying to focus primarily on like tabletop role playing games.
I will do a shout out for nerdy podcasts, because I don't know a lot about the world, but I do know my uncle is pretty big. Bobby Blackwolf is his name, and I guess he's big. That might mean something to somebody. I don't know.
For pinball?
No, for like nerd podcasting and
What's his name?
radio
Bobby?
and stuff.
Bobby
Black Wolf. Black Wolf. Well, his
Okay.
name's Bobby Tamburrino, my last name, but his gamer name is Bobby Blackwolf.
Oh, he's a gamer.
Yes. Well, I think yeah.
And
He's
he's
just
your
very
uncle?
into
Voice of Geek, or is that him?
Geek Gaming Network or something. Yeah, some
Voice of Geeks. Yeah. That's I didn't know about this, but I'm looking it up.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I guess he's sort of. So yes, a lot of my family, and so that side of my family, it's my dad's brother
Don't
actually.
tap the table.
Sorry.
That's the
My
mom.
dad's brother. They were the ones that would always get us the new video game consoles for Christmas, even though our parents didn't want us to have them. They were always, kind of
So you were allowed to play video games. You played them a lot.
a little bit. Hmm.
Like how far did you get in Tetris? Are you OG?
That's before my time.
Oh
come
no!
on,
I just got aged shame on my own podcast.
I didn't really play Tetris. I started with like the original Final Fantasies. And,
Is that football?
Like Super Mario, maybe you know that one.
Yeah, I know Super Mario.
Okay.
Did you just ask a Final
Like
Fantasy?
Zelda, Legend of
is
Zelda.
football?
Is that the football one?
No.
That's John Madden.
That's right.
Okay.
Yep. Similar to Final Fantasy, but is John Madden your Final Fantasy? Is that what you're...
He's got a crazy accent. Right?
He does have a crazy voice.
Yeah.
So, did play video games a little bit growing up, but just not much.
So
now I don't.
So what are you getting nerdy about now?
So the Pokemon card game has.
Do you play with your friends?
Great. There's an app. No, I play online.
You don't have any friends. Okay.
Not to play Pokemon cards. I've tried. I'm trying to set something up in the comic
Just
community.
slamming them down left and right. Not even letting them answer
Oh
a
my gosh,
question.
he's
being
so
like,
handsome.
But I'm so pretty.
He's so handsome. I get to tease him a little
That's why
bit.
nobody wants to be friends with me, because I'm so good looking.
Oh,
They just,
I know, right? It's
No.
rough.
But there's like an app you can get on your
Okay,
iPad
so you're playing
or laptop.
online Pokemon, and it's like you play a card in the thing, and it's like it's a Whirlipurd.
It's a Whirlipurd, yep.
It goes "Kaka!" and then that was 50
you-
points of
you know.
killing and 2 points of health, and
That's it.
Yes.
Basically, I mean, yeah, no, that's it. But it's a strategy game, almost like any other,
Okay.
card game, I
So it's
guess. So
kind
you have
of
to
like
really think steps ahead. You have to
poker,
kind of,
but
yeah,
gayer.
a little more involved, a little way gayer, because poker's gay.
Strip poker.
Somehow gayer than that.
It's fine. Take your clothes off.
But yeah, very nerdy. But yeah, I don't know, just very.
You're enjoying it. Do you do you sass talk to the other
You
people? while
can't, unfortunately.
that's good because you don't want to make children cry.
Yeah, that's true. Sure, it's
You
mostly
get on a
children.
list.
Most of it's 30-year-old dudes.
No, I was gonna
honestly.
say, yeah, the kids collect the cards. It's the
Okay.
nerds, the real nerds, my age, that play the game.
That are playing it.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're probably like maybe it's, and I'm wondering, is it nostalgic and it's a way to self-soothe yourself because you're like it brings back feelings of childhood because that's when you were into Pokemon, and you can like go into this imagination world and you can escape the stress that you have all these shows you're producing, and you have to sell tickets and get the people there on time and make sure the microphone's working, and then you keep dropping your phone and it keeps shattering.
Oh, that did suck. It's definitely an escape and just something you have to get my mind off. That's what video games are for anybody. But I've tried playing video games as an adult, and I just played it for like an hour, and I'll like put it down. Like, what the fuck did I just do for an hour? Like, it just didn't seem very like productive. First, obviously, it's never going to be productive in real life, but it just also didn't seem very stimulating for me.
Fair enough.
So I wanted to be stimulated.
I can't say that. I said fair
By
enough.
Pokemon.
Fair enough. Too many times than the last time I recorded.
That's right.
Yeah.
So the card game, and like I said, it's like other, card and strategy games, or if you're playing like Risk, the board game, or certain games where you do have to kind of think and strategize and do the right moves. And
our brains are wired to solve problems. Some people's brains are wired to start problems. And you know who you are out there.
Looking at you, Brittany.
But yeah, it's a good way to relax. That's like, I think the Wordle was very relaxing for me. I never could finish it, but I like to start it.
Sudoku I enjoyed for a couple days.
We have a problem with addiction to Tetris in our family. We got an old school gaming console, the OG, what's a Nintendo 64 with the
I have
a wire and a controller and the left, up, down, all of it. And if we get that out as a family,
it's got all the games already loaded in it.
We just do Tetris.
Oh.
It's basically a Tetris machine.
Yeah.
And you have the cartridge. You get to blow on the cartridge thing to stick it in there. And if we get going, my son can do it for hours. He's gotten up to thousands and thousands of points. And he went online and figured out all of the tricks and how to get all the gold bricks and not die. And then my husband started doing it too. And then my other son. And then I'm the only one that dies. And I have to wait an hour and a half for everyone else to finish.
And do they ever talk shit? Or do they ever put the L piece over there?
Oh, yeah, the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they can it gets really fast. It gets very
yeah.
fast. I can't believe anyone in our generation still has any cartilage left in their thumbs. I have arthritis in my thumb just from posting on Instagram, let alone OnlyFans. Heyo,
right?
Call back.
That's where you really.
All right, so Pokemon, Are you collecting the statuaries?
So I don't have any cards. I don't have any stuffed animals.
Yeah, it's all digital.
It's all digital.
Okay.
Well, and this could be the nerdiest thing you've ever might ever
reveal
here on this podcast. I did go on it. So when you buy a pack of Pokemon cards, it comes with I think 10 cards, and there's another little card in it that has a QR code on it.
Okay.
And that's for the actual game that nobody plays except me. And so people buy these Pokemon cards, and I do watch YouTube videos of people opening Pokemon cards. So I like watching that. It is a fun, I get to vicariously, because I don't want to buy the card, because I do have a very addictive person. I will, and this will come up here right when I explain this. So I will want to collect them all. I will spend too much money. That's why they call them Pokemon. We got to collect them all or catch them all. Whatever.
Are you learning the Japanese?
So each card had no, I don't know the Japanese, and I don't know all the Pokemon, because when I was a kid, there was 150 Pokemon. That's the only ones I learned was the first 150.
There's 150.
There's over 1,000 now.
Okay. Yeah. Is it me, or is everything Japanese harder? The language,
they are a little
alphabet.
smarter than us, so yeah, they have to be.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So they're gonna make it even harder. The games are gonna be hard too.
The game has gotten a lot harder. The Pokemon game, a lot more intense and different. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a lot. Trying to teach it to a kid would be next to impossible. An American kid, at least.
I just bailed already. I got overfaced.
So each pack comes with the code card.
Okay.
And so that's for the game. So when you scan that code in the game, it gives you a digital pack of cards, a whole different pack than the one you just opened physically.
Okay.
So it's a whole different one. And so I get to open the packs. So what I did was I went on eBay and bought in several different orders, close to 2,000
actual cards.
So I've been getting in the mail just stacks and stacks of just the code cards, not actual Pokemon cards. And so I just sit at my computer, and it's just your computer camera, and you take the QR code, and I've just been sitting there, bing,
and then playing it,
bing, and then you do 10. You can only do 10 at a time, and I do 10, and I get to open the 10 packs.
Is it a self-imposed? Is it the computer is saying you're only allowed to play 10 games at a time?
You're only allowed to open 10 packs. I can scan 10 codes, then I have to open those 10 packs, and then I can scan 10 more codes and open those 10 packs. I'm just saying.
How long is the game in each of these scans?
So the scans just get you more cards.
Oh, you're getting cards.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So you have an adult amount of cards now in the internet.
Yeah.
Okay.
My digital library of cards.
Is this Bitcoin?
Insane.
Is this how Bitcoin got started?
It says no.
How much do you get the
value.
QR code cards for?
A couple cents each.
I was about to say that's cheap.
No. I spent $20 on the 1,000.
Cheap,
No, people are throwing them away. I can't believe they even take the time. And some people will just take pictures of all the codes. Because I can also scan. So then I take my phone, because some sellers will sell 50 code cards, and they'll just send you a picture or several pictures of the code cards just lined up, and I just take the picture, zoom in, zoom on the next QR code. Yeah. But the people are taking time and they'll take pictures of 50 cards, and I'll send them 35 cents.
More
they take the time to take the pictures, and I'm like,
yeah. What is it? Is it anyone can scan those cards. So like if you
They can only be scanned once each card.
Oh,
so there's a
can it
brand new
feel
cards that
it?
have never been scanned before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, they'll tell you when I try to scan. They'll say this card's already been scanned.
That's very. You have a whole world. You have a very
Yes.
rich world of scanning and getting
I've
cards.
lost a lot of sleep lately.
Oh no,
Yeah.
you do have an addictive personality.
I do I have, tons of shoes. Tons of
do you have a compulsive
firearms.
shopper? Are you
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was very poor as a kid and didn't have stuff.
So now you
And I always
do
valued stuff. I always wanted stuff.
Okay.
And so now that
So
I have,
you're no
I
Marie
make money.
Kondoing your place. You're
No,
just
what?
you're not Maria Kondoing. Like, does it spark joy? And then you can keep it. Otherwise, you have to get rid of it.
Well, that's the funny thing. I do get a lot. I also get just as much joy out of buying stuff as I do throwing stuff away.
Oh, so
And
Yeah,
purging
because when you
stuff.
get addiction stuff,
Is
it's-
that what it is?
Does
You
this
get that hit
I was
of
gonna
it-
say, does this give you dopamine anymore? That's the difference.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So I've got like all these pairs of shoes that when I bought them I was so excited, but now like
you don't want them
okay,
anymore.
they're there. Yeah, and they're just taking up space. Like I
You
wear
gotta
some
make
of them,
space
but
for more sneakers.
yeah.
Yeah, you gotta get more dopamine.
I don't know a lot
Exactly.
about shopping addiction.
But I do like cleaning. I don't like starting the process of cleaning, but I'm sure like
It
most
feels
women-
good
yeah.
afterwards. You have
Like
to be in the
yeah.
right mood for it.
Yeah, but just the instant gratification of cleaning something and seeing or organizing. I do enjoy that. I do have a little bit of.
I have a lot of personalities that live inside of my body, and
Same.
so it can depend. Like sometimes sassy Amy comes in and she's like, she will never wear a cardigan again. Get rid of all these cardigans. And then uptight Amy shows up and she's like, we're going to church. We need a cardigan. Like,
Oh yeah, you'll never know. Yeah, but I've got hoarders in my family bad.
Ooh,
all of my
that'll make
grandparents
you
were
throw away
hoarders.
things fast.
You think so?
If you walk
I'm
into-
glad I didn't. Okay.
Yeah, my mom's
That's
a hoarder,
something
and I love
very-
throwing shit away.
Yeah. Okay.
If you walk-
I love throwing stuff away. I love purging, getting rid of stuff. Yeah.
and then
Too
ordering
much.
more.
Yeah. To where like. But I do have those intrusive thoughts. Oh, maybe one day you'll need this shirt or whatever. But then I have to say I haven't worn it in 2 years. I'm not. Yeah. If I want that red polo shirt, I'll go buy another one.
You ready for this? I gave away my wedding dress.
Wow.
And I got
that's right.
I got on a cleaning. You got to be careful when you get on a cleaning
I don't know
kick.
about that one.
I don't have my
Well,
wedding
I've got
dress
my
anymore.
Citadel uniforms, and I've gotten. I mean, just
You got rid of
not
your
gotten rid of it, but just somehow they didn't end up in the move or didn't.
Okay. Well, it's
so I have
funny-
a few of them left, but not all of them. To where my dad has
All of
every
them.
uniform he ever had.
It's
and
kind of
every,
fun to
like-
see how much your body has changed over the years, like if you can fit into your uniform.
I'm still about the same size, luckily.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
My dad was in military school for a spell. Someone was stealing cigarettes and got in trouble. Had to go to
Uh-oh.
military school. But that uniform is tiny.
Yeah. Oh, mine aren't. Yeah, I guess they're probably gonna be a little bit small on me, but I've somehow kept weight off a little bit.
Well,
I go
yeah.
through ups and downs.
So,
A lot of fat people in my family too. A lot of obesity,
Do
and
you
heart
do-
problems. And,
oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
You can. My husband has zero body fat and he has plaque on his heart. So make
Oh,
sure you
perfect.
get your cholesterol checked,
yeah,
even though you're fit.
yeah.
Do you do a lot of plank? This
Like
personal,
the-
yeah. This
Like
is
the
a personal-
planking thing that
Yeah.
people did like
Do
20
you-
years ago.
Yeah, is it old? Is
think
planking out of
Who
fashion?
who planks anymore?
I do. Am I,
I
doing
think-
it wrong?
I think Amy's talking about the actual exercise, and I think
Yeah.
you're talking about the meme. Where
Well,
people
no, I
used
was about to
plank.
make a funny, or I was gonna. Are you still doing the Harlem Shake too?
What's
But,
the
but no,
Harlem
even like
Shake?
the exercise. I don't know if I see anybody doing planking. I guess it's a
It's a
Pilates
workout.
thing.
It's a Pilates thing.
I mean, I'm talking about in that
Okay.
genre of working out.
Do you know that the guy who invented Pilates was helping soldiers come back from war and do rehabilitation?
I did not know that.
Deep Thoughts by Amy Brown.
Look at that.
Yeah, isn't that cool? That's why
pretty
it's
cool.
engaging your core so much because you're missing a leg.
Oh, I know the guys on the football team when I was in high school used to have to take like ballet and gymnastics in the off season.
Yeah.
It was great for just for balance and core
Yes,
stuff.
building
and,
up all of the muscles around your knees and your joints.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you'd either run track if you were like a wide receiver or whatever, but everybody else had to do like gymnastics and stuff.
Did you produce fundraisers for vets or anything like that? You have a show that's at a vet place.
So I make them money.
No,
no, but
you
no, I've
a
never thought about doing like a. I mean, I would be
are
definitely
you a
open to doing benefit
philanthropist?
shows.
Are you a good man? No.
I donate a lot to
You
animal.
need
I donate
money.
a lot to animal stuff. But
No.
not a lot
I
of-
was just thinking about the shows you run. That some of them are like military themed.
We'll do the American Legion in
Yeah.
Sugar Hill every month. Yeah, that's
Sugar
this Saturday.
Hill is American
Like
Legion.
Beaufort area.
What is an American Legion?
So I don't know a ton. I'm not like a member or whatever, but There's the American Legion. There's the VFW, the Veterans of Foreign Wars. I think they're similar, just kind of just groups and gathering places that mostly veterans, but you can be a family of a veteran. You can be,
and you go and it's like okay, because
I think you pay membership dues. It's a place you can hang out at. Yeah, you hang out. There's a bar there, food and drinks. Yeah,
I've been to one of these places twice. Well, however many times you booked me on your show to do. I've either been to one of these places to do comedy or for a funeral.
Oh, very nice.
Those are my two experiences.
So someone died in each of them.
Both times.
Look at this.
Oh,
What's this guy doing over here?
Both times I was hungover.
It's a funnier joke than either of us have made all day.
Yeah, Joel's very funny.
It's a little bit early in the day.
That's cool. So I just got lost because I was going through my friend's dad's funeral. And
I was like, are you just thinking about who's dead that you know?
That passed away, and we went to this funeral.
But doing comedy at the American Legion is definitely interesting.
Oh, I saw.
As far as pulling comedians from Atlanta. As we were talking earlier, them being a more liberal bunch, which sometimes it does work fine up there. If it's funny enough, they'll laugh at.
Oh, yeah.
I've noticed I've booked several, gay comedians and trans comedians, and
I don't think that rattles people's cages.
Not as much as the thing that does is when I think certain comedians think they're going to rattle the cages and go up there with that mindset, and then it's almost a adversarial set there, where it's almost like. Yeah, this is a liberal thought. How do you feel about that? It's like where they don't want that. Like, but they'll laugh at liberal jokes and stuff, or jokes about Donald Trump. I have several very bad jokes about him, and they like it if it's funny enough.
If it's funny, you can get people to laugh almost anything.
Yeah, but they don't want to be preached to.
Yeah, well, then it's not really comedy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but it is a very fun show. It can get a little fun little crowd in there. It can get a little rowdy, but.
People got hammered. They get hammered at that show. I noticed that.
Yeah. Well, it's
oh god,
white people in the middle of nowhere, really, up in Beaufort County.
This is a not fun thing to say, but when I was at the funeral, they did the firing salutes for veterans,
21 gun salute,
which always makes me cry. Mm-hmm. It's because it scares me and it makes me sad because I'm like, oh my gosh. People go to war and they get shot at, and then now we're at your funeral and there's more shooting.
When will the cycle end?
They did it at my grandfather's funeral. Yeah. I started bawling, and but I also was there with a guy who had been at war and has PTSD, and they started shooting the guns, and he started shaking really bad. So. Maybe we need to rethink the ceremony around saying goodbye to our loved ones.
That's like doing fireworks at a dog funeral.
Yeah.
This is kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah. That's a good joke.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
But, I've never thought. I mean, I didn't go to war. I never went overseas. I don't talk about military stuff too much. I mean, I'll talk about Citadel stuff because that, that shit sucked. I was there for 4 years, but I was in the Army Reserves and didn't really,
Yeah,
I did. I went to boot camp with it, all that stuff. But yeah,
there's
I get really self-conscious when I talk to veterans that have been overseas and stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I have a friend who went to the Citadel and he got beat up so much during the hazing, his retina displaced from his eye.
Shit.
And he was there on a scholarship for doing sports, and he couldn't see the ball anymore. Ugh. Because he got hit in the face with a rifle. Yeah. Handle. Mm-hmm. You're like, yep, that's the old Scooby-Doo. That's what we call it.
Story checks out.
We go to college and we get smashed in the face with the rifle handle.
Yeah, it's a weird.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yeah.
Jiminy Crickets.
It's a weird. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about. I don't have mixed feelings about hitting somebody or putting your hands. Because I did when I was a junior and senior there. I was put in the position of power over the freshmen, the knobs, in the position of weeding out the weak, and I do agree with that part of the system of weeding out the ones that don't deserve it, or for the ones that do make it, that gives them a very big sense of pride and some kind of something you earned. So you do need to have a tough system that not everybody can make it through. When I got in that position where I was older and I had friends who were also in that position, I would tell them I just didn't think it was fair to beat the shit out of a kid, and that's the reason why he quit. That doesn't mean he was too weak. It means he just didn't want to get the shit beat out of him. That's not
that's like a justice.
Being weak mentally or whatever. So I used to make people do push-ups for a day, and I would yell at them. I'd call them very disparaging things. I would whatever. I'd do all that psychological torment. I made people quit But I never.
Was there a
and
quota?
I would told my friends. I was like, if I see you put your hands on them, I'm gonna put my hands on you. Like it's just I did not agree with that stuff.
That's good. I'm glad that you didn't.
I just didn't think that was fair. Like I didn't think it was because I knew guys that quit because of that, and that was not fair to them.
Are you even allowed to fight back if you're supposed to be taking a beating?
I mean, you can, and there were people that will, but I mean, you're going to be gone by the next day because then you're just going to. I mean, everybody's going to. Either your other upperclassmen going to beat the shit out of you, or your own classmates are going to turn on you. Yeah.
Is this what prison's like?
Yeah.
Is this what happens when you put too many young men in a room?
Yes.
It's very Lord of the Ring, Lord of the Flies.
And very little supervision.
Oh my goodness! Did you have a quota for how many people you were supposed to get out of the program?
Unofficially.
Speaking to the microphone. Oh, we're getting
obviously the
secrets.
school at the end of the day wants cadets there. They want people enrolled. They get tuition money. So I mean, anytime they lose tuition money, that's not a great thing for them. But obviously, the legacy of the school and it being not the easiest thing to get through is important as well.
Do you think it creates a kind of masculinity that doesn't leave space for emotional conversation and poor fathering, possibly?
I don't know. I mean, I've seen definitely good and bad that have come out of that school. Probably more bad than good. But I take a lot of. I mean, I learned. My dad told me because my dad went to school there, and so that was a big part of. He didn't force me to go there. He definitely made it known to me that it was a very good school to go to, and it was very do a lot for my life. And he told me, he's like, look, I've been through 3 divorces. This. He went to war. And he's like, nothing will ever be as difficult as getting through. He's like, so I know nothing in my life, and I've really experienced that. Really, I mean, I've gone through some shit as an adult, and it's like, I mean, I got through the Citadel. I mean, I got through that. I mean, I can get through that. So it does give you the lifelong, just like
chops.
Yeah,
yeah,
and seeing bad leadership and learning what not to do, and what. And I saw a lot of great leadership, so what to do. But yeah. So it just depends on what you take from stuff like that.
Yeah, like the things that they're wanting CEOs to be nowadays, resilient, obviously.
Yeah.
That's like the Citadel kind of stuff. But you also have to be incredibly emotionally intelligent, because if you're leading people, you have to meet them where they are, understand the way their brains work, and then be able to communicate in a way that's effective and inspiring and gets people to do what you need to do. And be able to listen to them and listen if they're giving information to you about your company. Do you feel like you said a lot of bad comes out of the Citadel, some good. Do you feel like there's people out there like you're like, oh, I'm moving to a new town. Let me see who went to the Citadel. Maybe we could get together and have a chicken salad lunch. That's what we do at Sweetbriar College.
Yeah,
what do you do? What do you do at the Citadel?
We get drunk. We get drunk
and
get drunk and do borderline gay stuff and cap each other's nuts. And that's
really
the male bonding experience.
Oh.
No, but it just depends. Like there's certain times where like if I wear like a Citadel shirt or something recognizing that like I'm walking through the grocery store and like, oh man, it's Citadel, and I want to stop and talk, and like it's about 50-50 where it's like, but it's just like talking to other veterans that have been to war and stuff. They just had a way different experience than me and took different stuff from it, to where I'm like, I don't like, because Citadel guys, like, but then it's cool to shoot the shit and talk about and reminisce. I do love shooting the shit with those guys and talking about just the dumb stuff we did there. That's what I like talking about.
The silly stuff.
Yeah, the riding mattresses down the stairs and surfing across the quad, when it rains. The fun, goofy. So that's what I was always drawn to when I saw stuff.
That's the fraternity kind of
military.
Part of it.
Yeah, that's what I was drawn to that, and that's why I joined the military. That's why I went to the Citadel, was for the brotherhood, the fraternity, the having friends and stuff.
Yeah.
So anybody joins a sorority or fraternity it's
we are pack
important.
animals.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be together with other people, and our culture right now is making us more and more isolated every second. It's just on your phone, alone in your car, alone in your apartment, alone in your house.
That's what I can't imagine. I mean, obviously, it hadn't been that long. I guess it's been 15 years since I started the Citadel. God,
did you go back for reunions?
But the thing about, I go back there because my dad lives in Charleston now. He didn't when I was there, but so I go back there. I haven't gone for any reunions, but I do go back to Charleston, and I'll go to the school and just kind of walk around a little bit. Yeah.
Did you have any like women professors at the Citadel?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you have to take military?
Yeah, everybody has to take ROTC class.
Like, is there like, okay, if you have 3 ships and 2 regiments of horses, like, is it old school?
Yeah, you take military training.
Is it old school, like flanking and soldier marching and cleaning your musket?
No, we're not walking line to line and just shooting. It's a lot of tactical stuff.
Guerrilla warfare.
And a lot of it was dealing with media training and stuff. It was kind of weird.
Media training. Like what to say if you're a soldier and you get interviewed?
Always kill the cameraman first.
Really?
that was always the joke. That was always the
You
joke.
can tell me anything
when I went
and
to
I will
boot
believe
camp.
it.
No, that was one of the jokes. I was like, oh. And we used to have to chant it. Like, what do you do when the media comes around? Kill the cameraman first.
Oh my God.
As the cameraman, I'm not a big fan of
Oh,
this.
whoa now. Don't you say stuff like
Too
that.
soon.
This is a comedy podcast, but come on, man.
Oh my gosh. So media training.
But that's what I'm saying. So the kids now, that's what I was getting to. The kids nowadays, like, I mean, it's only been 15 years, but so much has changed in the last 15 years. We didn't really, I mean, I had Facebook and MySpace, I guess, when I started there. I mean, maybe not Facebook, definitely MySpace. But I mean, we didn't have smartphones back then.
Yeah.
And so I can't imagine kids now. I'm just saying, I can't imagine when I was in school, like that was the toughest part, was seeing my friends that went to University of Miami or Clemson or University of Georgia. And
drowning
they're
in
having
pussy.
the time of their lives.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just getting the shit beat out of me, like drowning in dicks and balls.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was like, this shit. So I can't
okay.
imagine kids now that like have TikToks and just see it and just like, and they're living this weird, like, 'cause it does seem a very, like, even when I was there, it seemed like such a archaic, you know,
Way of, old
Yeah,
school.
yeah.
I had a friend at VMI, and
Yeah.
one of his,
Okay.
he had a real sassy friend who took a picture of his roommate's toothbrush on his own butthole.
Okay.
With an old school camera.
Yeah.
Every night for until the camera is like,
A
oh,
long con.
I gotta get my camera developed. He got the film back and saw that the toothbrush he'd been brushing his teeth with.
Every picture. No. No. Just looking at crime scene photos.
That's the silly part of boys I like.
That's you.
Yeah,
would
no,
say,
it's- I mean,
we'd call that silly.
Silly.
well, if you got pink eye,
Rizzing and razzing, fun and
Yeah.
games.
can you get pink eye in your teeth? Is that what gingivitis is?
Yeah, that's. I mean, there was some crazy, shit that they used to make people like drink their dip spit. That was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life.
I would throw right up.
But then we do like fun, like crazy shit where like one of my things, I would empty out a Windex bottle and put blue Gatorade in it.
Oh.
And I would go into one of the freshmen's rooms.
And say, open up.
No, well, I would, explain I would have to work him on the thing. I was like, all right, look, I'm putting this under your thing and I'm going to make you drink it, whatever. And so I would get all the rest of his classmates, all the other freshmen in the room. And like, I would start yelling at the kid whose room it was. Like, you motherfucker, how you gonna fucking, and I would open up his, cleaning cabinet, whatever, and pull out the Windex and like, fucking chug it. And I would make him chug it in front of everybody.
Oh
and
my
it was
God. And everyone's
yelling.
like,
so
oh
everybody freak out,
no.
what the, oh yeah. Just,
I'm
it's
calling
just
the mom.
psychological, but funny, once they
Yeah.
realize. And then they eventually figure out when I leave the room, then their classmate was
Starts
just
laughing.
Gatorade. Yeah.
And
that's funny for them
that's
too.
great.
Yeah,
that's a great story because
they get a fun little scare. And
that's
then
like
they
a
get a fun
cocktail
little,
party thing you can chat about.
Yeah.
I just got excited because you said he had a cleaning closet. Did all
under the sink was all your cleaning. No,
You
everything
had-
had to
okay,
be,
the
and everything had to
military.
be in height order.
Oh
Everything
my
always was in
God.
descending height order from the left.
keep talking?
All
Do
the
it in a
socks
nice
had
low
to be rolled
voice.
up, and the smile had to be.
made
No,
us-
actually, we had to be frowning when we were freshmen. All of our socks had to be turned because freshmen they're knobs. It's weird to say freshmen. Knobs. We had our head
Is
shaved.
it spelled
like
with a K?
doorknob.
Is it
Yeah,
knob?
yeah, like a doorknob. Your head was
Okay,
shaved.
I think that's the name of a wiener in Europe.
Maybe, yeah.
Yes, it is.
Swallow my knob.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that's a European
A
song.
lot
Swallow my
of
knob.
a lot of men's stuff is all based around penis. Who knew?
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, yeah,
So what it all comes back to. But
that's
I was
amazing.
gonna
It's
say.
very detail oriented.
yes, which
is
is
good.
for a reason. And obviously it's to the extreme.
Yeah,
But in
Well,
order to teach you to
do you know when the Titanic didn't get help sooner?
because they didn't fold their socks and they make frowny face
Because
with their socks.
The like beep 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 machine, the Morse code machine, like wasn't plugged in. Basically, like they could have gotten more ships there to help.
All they had to do was blow on
And
the
the
cartridge.
one military guy, I'm gonna push you out there, didn't plug it in
I
or
thought you were
whatever,
gonna
and it
name
was
him.
not
I thought
charged.
you were gonna name him.
Whatever it was something like just a little bit of a little tiny detail, and thousands of people die. So you gotta be detail oriented if you're gonna be driving ships, and throwing bombs and all this and
Then we
stuff.
wouldn't have
Do you
Leonardo
think that people?
DiCaprio
Do you think that
and-
people just throw bombs out there?
Hand grenades.
There we
Yes.
go. There we go.
They throwing grenades at icebergs?
Well,
what
they
you're
had
trying
it
to
coming. You see what they're doing to the polar bears, icebergs,
Was it
the new enemy.
Didn't Donald Trump want to
Explode something in the
the
sky.
rocket? Didn't he want to blow up a meteor with
He's
a? I mean, that seems like
he's
a
a real
logical
intellectual.
idea to me. I mean, it's
Okay, we guys, we're in 48 minutes in. We are going to do your nerd question.
oh.
Find out what kind of a nerd you are. Have you seen this part of the podcast before? Yeah, none of my friends.
Of course, I've seen all
None
of
of my
them.
friends
I'm an
listen or
expert.
watch. And if you are listening or watching,
I
you
studied
are
for
my
this.
friend. You're my new best friend. Send me a DM. Ooh, if you have any nerdy questions for me, please send them. I would love to get some more because there's so many ways to be a nerd. Being a nerd is just getting too excited about something.
Which again, that's what I was saying earlier. That's what I love about nerd culture. I love people enjoying what they're doing and enjoying themselves and enjoying other people that enjoy those same things. And
it's yes-anding life.
I am obsessed with that kind of stuff, and I love watching it. Maybe because I don't have that kind of joy in my heart, so I love watching it. Like
when people get excited, it's infectious.
I love it. Yeah,
I get jealous.
So
I get
like
FOMO.
the nerdy stuff. I love the culture of it. I love it. Yeah. So I want to go to Dragon Con and stuff like that just to kind of see.
I want to see people
be
excited.
Yeah.
Okay. We already went over if you've ever been to like a Comic-Con or you went to the expo. That's hilarious. Have you ever ridden a unicycle?
No.
Have you ever played an instrument?
Oh, I did. Because I don't know if it's gonna be on your list of questions, but I do think it's pretty important with the
Write it
festival
down.
thing. I did go on a LARPing adventure as a young boy.
Yes.
That's on there.
Oh, okay. We'll get to it
Yes.
then. All right, we'll get to it.
We'll
What?
go there. Have you ever done LARPing or cosplay?
LARPing, yes.
What did you LARP upon?
And I was way too young.
Oh.
God bless my mother. She was a great mother, and I just always wanted us to be happy and whatever. But I think my brother was probably 14, and so maybe I was 12, and she dropped us off for a weekend in the woods.
Oh.
And it was like a whole.
Did
and
you
it was
come
one of the
back
coolest,
not virgins?
In my head, no. I mean, I saw so much sex and stuff as a 12-year-old. I just saw. I mean, like the people in it was like bunk beds. People in bed next to me were.
Your mom dropped you off at the gangbang.
Pretty much at the nerd gangbang, the elven nerd gangbang.
It was themed.
Yeah. So everybody had
ears.
crazy costumes and like, and it was like the little beanbag things we throw them and like lightning bolt.
Do you remember the it was called? Was it Shattered Isles or Nero?
Nero sounds familiar.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I played
Is that like an
familiar.
elf does a fairy in the woods?
No, well, they're all like fantasy LARPs, but like Nero stands for New England Role Playing Organization. It started up in New England, and then it spread throughout the East Coast, and then there's even some stuff out in the West Coast. But Nero was the biggest. It's still running. I don't actually know. I think it's done now because the owner of all of it took all the money and put it up his nose.
Oopsie-daisy.
Oops, that happened.
It gets slippery.
But no, but it was cool. But
That's
it's definitely
pretty
just a very
nerdy.
like.
LARPing.
Yeah.
But you went once.
It
You
was my brother. My brother, I think, had done it before. It was more of his thing. My older brother, and I just wanted to go.
Was he hooking up with people?
I don't think so. No.
He was just there for the costumes and the role play.
Yep.
Oh, that's
Me
pretty
too.
nerdy.
And we had the foam swords. You put the PVC pipe and you wrap the foam around it, and
So
so
you can
you
hit
have
it.
like weapons. Yeah, so you hit each other with it, and you have your armor. And they would sell like chainmail.
So you're basically playing army, but
in more like
fantasy.
it seemed like like I've never been to a Renaissance fair, but it seemed sort of that kind of vibe. Where you got like tradesmen and they're selling like their own goods and stuff. And you got little like tents with food that people are making and stuff. Really cool. No, I think it was cool. I was like I said, I was way too young for it, but I think it's cool.
did you see a lot of private people, like private hair? Like, did you see a lot of pubes on that trip?
Private hair?
I mean, I think I just saw the one couple fucking, and it was great. I mean, I was 12. It was amazing. It was just like, yeah.
That's awesome. It's like
I just stayed and pretended like I was sleeping because I was literally like the bunk bed next to me.
Yeah, that's the first version of virtual reality.
And they were
porn.
side fuckers. I had never seen like the side humping.
Oh,
They were
you're taking notes.
Spooning, but I was like, why? Yeah.
Young Matt Tamburrino is writing down in his journal, "Dear Diary."
One day.
Side fucking.
That's spooning, right? That's the one you do it when you're tired.
Yeah, when you know you have a 12-year-old boy next to you and you're trying not to let him know that you're doing it. But he knows.
Oh, God.
He knows.
He knows. That's burned on your brain. Have you ever played Catan? Settlers of Catan.
Never done that. Never done like Dungeons and Dragons or anything like
The
that.
dice games. Okay. Star Wars or Star Trek? Weigh in.
Star Wars, but only just because I've never seen Star Trek. Star Trek was a big, like I said, my uncle and his parents, the big nerd house I would always go to. They were huge Star Trek. I mean, they had all the commemorative plates and all the figurines and all the planes and stuff.
Okay. So you have
but I
the
watched
gene.
Star Wars as a kid, so I don't think I've ever seen an episode of Star Trek.
I feel like I'm going to ask you some more questions, but I'm just going to go out there at the top of this and say, I feel like you have the genetic potential to be quite a nerd, but you weren't, it wasn't fostered enough in you when you're in your your teen years.
Yeah, it's nature versus nurture, I guess.
Yeah, you were nurtured
because I was
by-
separated from my two brothers.
And
when I
you
was
went to the
9.
Citadel.
Yeah.
Unless you're nerdy for tanks.
Right. Yeah. Which I am. So I mean, I like military stuff, sort of. You know.
That's okay. How many specials have you seen about World War II?
Not many.
You're not.
Yeah.
My
But I like going to like World War II museums and stuff. And
like in person.
Oh yeah.
You haven't seen the breakdown of the play out in the Asian arena of like the boats and how like one Japanese general was too confident and kept going and he should have turned around and then they sunk all of their destroyers.
Sounds familiar, but
okay. It's like a 5-hour odyssey that my son and I watched together.
No, I haven't gotten into my peak old man Republican
It's
years
coming.
yet.
It's
No, yeah, when I
coming.
hit like 40 or 50 and really become Republican
Yeah.
and get into military stuff, that's when it's really over for your parents.
Do you have
When you see your dad getting into World War II stuff, it's freaking over.
I had to watch it in real time because it was
He's never
VHS
voting.
tapes. It was VHS tapes for my dad.
Yeah.
And they had all of these PBS ones like the Civil War, and it was like 75 videos because VHS can't hold as much.
No, I just watch YouTube videos about England drill rappers and
What's a drill rapper?
and YouTubers. I am obsessed with YouTube, and I just go down these rabbit holes.
What's a drill rapper? Is that
From what I
a
understand,
music person?
it started in like New York, but drill rap is like very fast. Obviously, I mean, they're rapping, but I think it's mostly about like.
Oh, it's rapping.
But,
I thought it was
about
gonna be
calling
something-
out their ops. They
What
talk
are
about killing their
ops?
ops, their opponents.
Okay.
The ops.
Is this like when Carter Deems does?
Your brother doesn't. I mean, your sons don't come home talking about their ops.
No. What's happening? I feel like I've had a stroke.
No.
Carter Deems is like, I'm a Christian battle rapper, and he's like this 6 foot tall white guy.
It is funny.
And this drill rapping these like.
No, he's not a drill rapper. That'd be funny.
What's a drill rapper?
No, they literally rap about like gang. They're usually. I don't want to talk. I'm a fucking white guy. From what I've seen on the YouTube videos, they're all in gangs. They're all shit gentlemen, and they're in their
So they have
they're in
street
their
cred.
own American legions. That's their social gathering. It's their gang of fellas.
Okay.
Their brotherhoods, and they get together and they shoot their ops. And then they rap about it. So there's been a whole thing with like,
are
with
they
law
actually
enforcement, like law enforcement can use that against them, like 'cause they literally rap about like, and I shot this, and they'll name them and did, and I shot him in the head, and like the police are like, you just said you shot him. You're like, nah, it's just music, it's just our art. We didn't really do that.
That's like when a comedian asks if anyone in the audience has drugs and then points to the comedy sign behind their head and like, if you're a police officer, this is comedy.
Oh, I've never seen that.
I've
one.
seen
I've just
it.
seen the. All right, officers, get him.
Yeah.
I used to do that when I hosted shows, and then I would go to those people afterwards, and I would get those
Get the
drugs
drugs
from
from them,
them.
Okay, this is
sounds
going to be a
smart.
fun one. Have you ever held a sword?
Yes.
Do you have a sword? Matt Tamburrino, how many swords do you
I
have?
don't have any swords. I have a lot
Okay.
of guns. I don't have swords.
Okay, so you're nerdy for guns. Which
A little
is
bit,
kind
but
of
not
weird.
really. No, because I don't know. I mean, because I try to talk guns with people, and they're like, "Oh, you have the 1911 CPK S2." I'm like, I know the ones I have. And that's about it.
You like your pretty girls at home. You're like, this is my favorite.
Yeah, I know Amanda.
name 'em?
I know. No, I don't know.
Are guns named? Are
Some
they like
people-
boats?
I think it just depends on the person and their collection of if they want to name things.
Yeah,
Are you planning to do a drill rap and then go shoot somebody?
Yeah. Incriminate yourself on this recorded podcast.
do it, yep.
Oh my gosh. Maybe we'll get some more viewers.
That's right.
Who's your
Pissy fit comedy. I'm coming after you.
Oh my gosh, how funny would
That's
it be?
right. Devilish grin. Mellow Black. You think I'm your friend? I'm not. You're the
Yeah.
ops.
These are all the other producers of comedy in the Atlanta
I've always
scene.
wanted to make a funny meme. If you know what a meme is, I'm about to explain some. But there's a song lyric from, I think it's Jersey Drake, where he says, check the weather and it's looking real oppy outside.
Oh. Like,
He means like his
opponents.
So I've always wanted to make a meme, but take a picture of like the weather forecast for like the next week and just put all like the logos of all the different comedy companies in Atlanta, like Pissy Fit Comedy and all the other, and I wanted to make a little meme like, check the weather, it's looking real oppy outside.
I think you'd have to know that lyric to get it.
Well, that I just think there's already been some beef between other comedy
has there?
producers.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I
Not
like
me.
it.
I'm not involved. I don't know.
I like it when everyone gets along. and you
Yeah,
help
me too. That's why.
support
Yeah,
each
I just
other.
know somebody would take it that I meant it seriously, even though we're freaking comedians.
Yeah.
Like, it's clearly a joke, but somebody would take it seriously and like, oh,
Ah,
really?
Man Tamburrino's being a dick.
Yeah, yeah.
Take your shirt off. Okay. I was thinking, like, I was imagining you, like, at the Citadel with a sword. Like, my
I did have a
father had a
sword
sword,
there.
a part of his, it's not called a costume, uniform.
So only the officers, the seniors, if you were an officer, like you had an officer rank,
Yeah.
had swords.
My dad's sword is pretty. It has, like,
Yeah.
etchings
All the etching-
on
yeah,
it
yeah.
and a tassel.
No, I didn't end up buying one.
I'm sure that's how the army likes to think of it too. But like, here's a really pretty sword.
Oh, they do? No, I mean, they're all about, customizing and...
I'm just saying, I don't think they use the word pretty necessarily.
Oh,
They
yeah.
love a tassel. The
I
military,
would say pretty. Yeah. I'm a little different than most.
the military loves a little gold, a little tassel.
Yeah.
a
You
little
gotta have that flair.
bell-
They do.
Embellishments.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, because the officers would wear the what's called a shako with a hat, but it had the plume.
Oh, yeah.
So regular cadets, if you didn't have rank, it was just the
Unicorn horn?
it just looked like a big dildo, like a furry dildo.
Oh,
But
really?
if you had rank, it was like this immaculate, like
An ostrich plume.
peacock feathers.
A peacock.
And
A
stuff.
peacock.
I mean, it looked
Or
like
an-
peacock feathers, but I don't know exactly.
Do you know what a peacock is? Like blue and it has like an eye, like a
Oh,
black.
I didn't have that. No,
Was it
I
just
didn't
a
have all
white
that. Just
ostrich
colorful.
feather?
Yeah,
I have
maybe,
ostrich
maybe.
feather fans that I used to pretend to be a 1940s dancing lady, and I will get them out, and
Yeah.
you tell me if that's what it is.
We can
And let's
pretend we have
take a
rank.
picture with it together. We'll put it on there.
We'll
Okay.
do that. Make that the thumbnail.
The feathers. Okay. So do you read books about like
No.
military things or guns?
Let me stop you there.
You
Let me
don't
stop
read?
you at books.
Okay, no books.
No books.
So this is okay. You're not tracking like every time you watch something about the history of something. You're like, okay, that slides into the other YouTube. And like in your mind, there's a big timeline of history or military stuff. And
Well,
you're
yeah, I mean, there's
sliding in the
different eras
Lego
of
pieces.
Pokemon and when the different Pokemon would come out. So I'd know, like, this Pokemon came out this year. And yeah. So
Okay. Is there anything else that's like Pokemon that you're real nerdy about? Because is there?
No, I don't, yeah.
Have you
Comedy.
Have you ever? Yo, we didn't even
Nerdy
talk
about
about comedy.
comedy, yeah.
Have you ever said huzzah?
No.
Do you like Disney?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I feel like you've already accused me of being a Republican, so I have to say I like Disney. I didn't like Disney growing up. I don't know. I haven't seen any Disney movies recently, but I would. I like that there's a black mermaid. I like that there's no more dwarfs anymore. I'm all about that.
That's great. Good. You have an open heart. And I
I
didn't
just don't watch
accuse
Disney
you.
movies because I'm an adult without a child.
I didn't accuse you
I
of
like
being
Pixar movies. Or,
I didn't accuse you of being a Republican. I just,
little bit.
I have friends who are Republicans.
I'm
We
sure
live
you
in
do.
Atlanta.
Yeah, I see your house.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, you live in
You have a
Buckhead.
Yeah.
You're the rarity in this neighborhood.
But we don't have any friends that hate gay people. That's where we draw the
No,
line.
yeah. No, I think that's
Openly.
most.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just raised conservative, and my dad was. I have 3 gay uncles.
Oh my gosh, you have the gene.
My brother. I won't talk about my brother. That's too personal. But they a very queer family. Very queer family.
You're so lucky. You should make
and we've
some
always
babies.
been about it. I've always been about it. And I have very exact reason as a kid for a lot of being very pro-gay.
Yeah.
So my uncle Mike, was with this guy Joe. We called him Aunt Joe. He liked it. We were kids. We called him Uncle Mike and Aunt Joe.
Yes.
But anyways, they were together for almost 30 years. And unfortunately, Joe died of cancer. And they were never legally allowed to be married because Joe died in like the 90s, whatever. And so
Yeah.
they weren't legally married.
Yeah.
And Joe's family didn't let my Uncle Mike have any of Joe's stuff, didn't let him come to the funeral. And so as a kid, I was like 10 years old, and I was like, this is bullshit.
wrong.
That's like by far the longest relationship ever in the history of my family.
Yeah.
When Joe and Mike were together. Like, I'd never seen a couple like that, straight, gay. I'd never seen love like that. So,
Yeah.
So yeah, just from a kid, yeah. So I just always knew. But I was also raised to love my country, to love America, to appreciate. I didn't have much growing up, but we were taught to appreciate what we had and not expect more and not, blame people for not having more.
Oh.
So that's what conservative was to me as a kid, I guess.
No
Just
handouts.
liking the status quo, but I was also a white kid, so I enjoyed the status quo of the country, I guess,
Right.
more than most people would.
Right. The equity your family
Even as
was
a
able
poor
to
white
get in their
kid.
house because they
We
weren't
didn't
redlined and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were poor, but we were still, I never dealt with racism. I never dealt with, sexism,
Yeah.
systematic stuff. So yeah, so it was easy for me to appreciate what I had as a kid.
Oh, I think as you grow, you're allowed to change your opinion about
Yeah.
things for sure.
Yeah.
Boop, 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 boo. You don't like to read, so you're not going to do that one. Have you ever brewed your own mead or made your own? Okay.
I'm not a big beer guy. Yeah.
Okay. Just as a question, do you have tattoos? And clearly you do. Are any of them nerdy? They kind of look.
One of them's Latin.
Oh,
And then
what
one's
does it say? Like,
So it's-
this hand is for your pistol and this one's for your cock. Don't get them confused.
It's actually directions to my house, but I moved, so.
Oh,
it
no,
doesn't
you're kidding.
No. It's 2 different Latin quotes that I got right after the Citadel. This one is, be patient and tough. Someday this pain will be useful to you.
Oh,
And if I can't find a way, I'll make a way.
that's very inspiring.
No, they are.
That's
very
a pretty script.
Yeah,
Whoever
yeah,
did that
it's
had
not like-
beautiful handwriting. I don't know how tattoos work.
And I just chose the font.
Oh, you have one that's like an outdoor scene of dead trees.
Yeah, this one's a lot of family stuff.
Are those all the people who
My
died of
family
cancer in your
trees.
family?
No, this one's a suicide awareness for my aunt.
Oh,
And then like the number of trees, the one tree that has
leaves.
on it is very significant. And then the birds are for my 2 brothers and my sister.
Oh,
So
that's
a lot of-
very
yeah.
romantic.
Sure.
So you're sentimental.
Yeah.
I'm going to say,
definitely.
okay, you're a strong guy, but you're sentimental. I've seen the posts you do of your dogs and
Yes.
how much in love you are with
Oh,
your
yeah.
dogs.
Oh, yes.
You're loyal,
Mm-hmm.
and you are also obsessed with Pokemon cards. Yeah, you. I have a prediction for you. You're not you're a little bit. You're tasting nerdy right now. You're dipping your toe in. You have the genetic predisposition to be gay, evidently.
At any moment, it could come out.
Any minute, and a nerd. I predict that as we move forward as a culture and you grow into yourself, you are going to progressively become more and more nerdier with every passing year. Especially what you're doing with your sneakers and your compulsion to buy sneakers and Pokemon cards.
Well, I've already
Yeah.
asked other comedians if they want to play, like, if I buy a couple, you can buy, like, pre-made decks, and we can, like, play against each other at, like, comedy shows and stuff, like, while we're waiting and stuff.
Yeah.
So I would be down to do that. Like I said, I want to go to Dragon Con, so I could definitely see. But for me, I just always try to pace myself because I do get obsessive with stuff. If I jump head first, like, video games, I always, like... I would spend hours. Like I have been losing sleep playing Pokemon.
It's literally on your arm. It says, you're gonna find a way. You're gonna stay up all night. You're gonna order all of the cards.
yeah,
You're
I
gonna
have to
own
be the
all
best
of them.
at stuff I do. Yeah.
And the financial situation you put yourself into will only make you stronger. Is that right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you are, you're coming into your puberty of nerdiness.
Oh, that's those strange feelings I'm feeling.
Do you have a cape?
No.
Do you have fairy wings?
I have a
tramp
butt
stamp?
plug with
What?
a tail that comes out that I know several people that have those, and that's
The butt plug with
the butt plug with the
tail.
the tail that comes out. Yeah.
This is not the first time we've talked about it on this podcast.
That's good. No. I would hope not. You haven't talked about that and Horse Girls yet, and
No, we had Catherine Blanford on and talked about Horse Girls.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Getting celebrities
All
in
right.
here.
Yeah, we're fancy up in my costume chamber. All right, Matt Tamburrino, you are lovely. And you continue, please, making wonderful comedy shows for all of us to go on. You really quick before you leave, I want you to tell everybody where you are. But you went to like some crazy fun comedy thing where you had to buy tickets right away because they're going to sell at like Skankfest or something like that.
I went to Skankfest a few years ago. I haven't been in a few years.
How was that? What was
That's
it?
fun.
Was it
A lot
fun?
of fun.
All right, that wasn't as exciting. I thought you were like, that was crazy. Let me tell you what happened. No.
No, Skankfest is it's called Skankfest, so of course it's crazy. It's just crazy comedians from New York. But the past couple of years have been in Vegas, and I don't want to go to Vegas.
You don't like
know.
Vegas? Is
I
there
like New York.
not enough Pokemon cards there
I
for
guess
you?
not. Yeah, no. I'm sure there's a lot of Pokemon cards there.
Okay, tell everyone where they can find you.
All right, at Matt Tamburrino, all social media. Dirty South Comedy on Facebook, Instagram, dirtysouthcomedy.com as well. Got a lot of shows in Beaufort, Georgia, Ackworth, Georgia, Roswell, and Marietta.
You're the king
And
of the
I work
OTP.
at Johnny McCracken's in Marietta, Georgia. Johnny McCracken's Irish pub. Come.
They have a Monday
drink.
night open mic, and it's a real audience, and you get 5 minutes.
Yes.
It's
the
like
greatest
it
open
feels
mic.
it's a great you can actually try your jokes out on humans instead of comedians. We're not quite sure what comedians are made out of yet, but I'm pretty sure it's old cigarette butts and warm beer.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for I know when this is coming out. I'm coming to Florida and I'm coming to Rochester and I need to sell a lot of tickets, and I'm coming to Avon, New York. Shout out Avon. Please find me. It'll be in the things. All right. Thank you
She's
so
hilarious.
much.
You know that already, but she's hilarious. Go see her. All those places.
Thank you, Matt Tamburrino.
Yes. We did go to Fayetteville, North Carolina recently. That was fun.
Oh yeah, we did it.
that one.
We went to Fayetteville,
That
North
was
Carolina,
great.
and performed
Yeah.
for
And
the
killed.
military guys there. It
Yeah.
was really
They loved you.
fun. Oh, I had a great time there. I want to go back. You're
I'm
gonna go
down.
headline,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
All right. Boop, 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 boop. We did it. High five.
Yay!